2019, Prince Andrew spoke to the BBC's Emily Maitland about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which he said he did not regret. Then just 4 days later, the prince stepped down from public duties. That interview is the basis of the new Netflix movie. This movie's so good, it's called Scoop. It takes viewers behind the scenes to see how it all came together. Award-winning actor Billie Piper plays the real-life BBC producer. Her name is Sam McAlister. Look at that hair.
Got the hair right.
Who led the negotiations that landed the interview.
No commitments, no promises,
But,
they've agreed to meet.
right. This stays in this room, just the four of us. If it leaks that we're even meeting, they could get spooked. Sam, whatever you need, it's yours.
Actually, there was one thing. I think it will help a lot.
Name it.
Emily.
I've never been smuggled into a palace before.
We're very happy to say it's so good. Sam McAlister and Billie Piper join us first on CBS Mornings. Welcome to you both.
Thanks,
We're so glad
for having
you're here.
us.
Sam, I'm going to start with you first, Miss Badass. I watched it yesterday.
Can I have that on a T-shirt?
No, yes, Sam, Miss Badass. And it's no exaggeration, because when the interview was going on, could you guys believe what he was saying? Did it surprise you what he was saying?
It was so hard to take in, even though a few days prior to the interview actually happening, I'd done a face-to-face negotiation with Prince Andrew with some other colleagues. And in that room, to journalists, he'd said a number of the things that you heard on air. But Gayle, it never happens.
Yeah.
They never say on air what they say in the pre-briefing, right? It never
Yes.
happens. So to sit there 15 feet behind him and hear him say those iconic answers,
Yes.
a swathe of answers,
Yes.
each one more
After the
cataclysmic,
Yes.
was really quite something.
But you know what was fascinating to me also, Sam, is that when it was over, he thought the interview went well, and so did his people. And so apparently the Queen's person, who in the movie was in the room, they all seemed to think that the interview went well. True?
Well, his face looked like he'd won the lottery, and Emily Maitlis, the anchor's face, looked like we'd shot her dog, which, to be clear, we hadn't. So the contrast between the journalistic response and his response was very different, and he was beaming. So I infer that he thought it had gone brilliantly. He took Emily for a tour of the palace.
Yes.
Those iconic pictures are taken after that disastrous interview happened. So we cannot think anything other than his beaming face
Yes.
and his tour of the palace told us that he thought it had gone brilliantly.
Yeah, you guys weren't told, get the hell out of here. In fact, he's like, do you want to tour? Billie, let's talk about you, because how did you capture her? Number one, I love the hair. I love the strut.
And that's exactly how I captured her,
Really?
the wig. Yeah.
No, and the strut that you did. There was a strut.
I know. Well,
did you study her? Did you know about her?
I
Tell us.
noticed her walk when we met. I thought, OK, that's great. I'm going to sort of cherry pick the best bits. I mean, they're all great.
It's fine, Billie. It's fine.
They're all great, but Sam wasn't as public-facing as Emily Maitlis, so I didn't have to do a sort of direct take on her. I love the walks, so I asked Sam if she would video herself walking around London, and your friend kindly made the little video.
She's like a really big deal professor. And I'm making her do like all these videos.
Yeah, so that was one of the things. Chewing gum. Are you chewing gum now?
They made me take it out.
Yes, we made you.
It's in my pocket.
Yeah.
But Billie, given the complexities of this role and the ripple effect that this interview had, you said that this was a gift to you.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I cared about the story a lot, and I followed it a lot. So it sort of piqued my interest when it came through my agent. And then I met Sam, and I thought, I care about the story. That's one thing that doesn't often happen. And on top of that, I've met this formidable woman who's done this incredible bit of work and is this unsung hero, and she has all these amazing qualities. So as an actor, you're like, it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
What a good way. Yes, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Sam, do you have a theory of why Prince Andrew said yes to this, having gone through these
Good
negotiations?
question.
There's an amazing scene
Yes.
in the movie
Good
where
question.
he wants you to spell out to him how the public sees him. He seems to have no idea. And you tell the prince that the public knows him as Randy
Yes.
Andy.
I literally said that. I mean, there's a line between
You said
drama
it to
and
his
fact.
face?
I said it to his face, and I was closer to him than I am to you.
Yeah.
I think he did it for two reasons. A human reason, because ultimately it's always human.
Right.
He had an incredible life. He wanted to walk his daughter down the aisle. He was going to be turning 60. He missed that life. And then on a kind of more pretentious level, he wanted to speak to the nation to clear his name. And theoretically, this could have been an opportunity to do that. But obviously, it massively backfired.
And what was the Queen's role in it? I mean, in the movie, we see her spokesperson there. I assume, and you guys are waiting, did she call? Can we still run with it? She didn't call. So it makes me seem that the Queen was on board and approved of the interview, right?
I think we can infer that. I mean, I don't know for certain. I'm so careful as, you know, a journalist and ex-lawyer to only say things I saw myself. But what we do know is that just a few days after this interview happened, she effectively sacked her own son because he was withdrawn from public life, really, 4 days after this happened.
But do you guys think if he hadn't done that interview, both of you, that he probably would be held in better standing? Because that interview just totally decimated him. Do you think if he hadn't done it, he would still be Prince Andrew as we know it?
I don't know, but it was very revealing, so it's hard to imagine.
What do you think?
I think his life would be easier than it is now. He's now effectively a pariah prince, and then he was perhaps a problem prince. So I think it's definitely reduced his situation even further than it already was.
Yeah, reflecting on a specific moment in time that we're all familiar with can be difficult and it can be jarring, especially to all who lived through it. But what do you want people to take away from this project?
Well, I want people to know Sam because I feel like she's such a big part of this really important piece of journalism. So for me, and you know, there are 4 women involved here. But personally, I have a quest.
No, I want people to know Sam, too, because in the movie, your colleagues were not so embracing of you and your work that you were doing. And then in the end, it's like, oh, Sam, thank you so much, Sam. But in the beginning, they were like, stand down, you can't even be in the room, blah, 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 blah. And now you're not a petty Betty, nah person. But I was just thinking,
I'm definitely not.
But, Gayle, you can say it.
yes, nah. Sam McAllister, bravo. Billie Piper, bravo. I can't wait for people to see it. The name of the movie is Scoop. Can be streamed Friday on Netflix.